Hello and welcome to a Game Pit podcast pit stop for D-Day Dice 2nd edition, designed by Emmanuel Aquin and published by Word Forge Games. D-Day Dice is a cooperative dice rolling game for 1 to 4 players in which players are cooperatively looking to go from the beaches in Normandy, move along through sectors to finally storm the bunker at the top here and survive a round. All players will begin in the first sector, and on a turn they're going to roll 6 dice. They must lock down 2 of those dice and they continue to roll twice more until they get a final tally, each of the dice having 6 different sides on there. Now the different results you can get will add soldiers to your tally, which you're going to need because you're going to be under fire. You'll be able to get medals. Now this is courage, because every time you're forced to advance, you have to pay a certain amount of courage to be able to do it. And if you haven't got that amount of courage when you're forced to advance, you'd have lost the game. In order to help players as they go along, they're going to be able to get stars, which will help them to recruit specialists. They have both their own series of specialists, like a sharpshooter, which will allow them to ignore bad rolls, or a medic, which will help save soldiers. As well as that, there's a shared pool of specialists which they'll build at the beginning of the game and again spend stars to take, and these will allow them to help each other out. You can get item points, and item points similarly to specialists will be used to get a series of items, and depending upon the scenario, the items will all be different. The last result is a skull, and if you have a skull in your final tally, unfortunately you must cancel 1 other dice. Apart from, if you've rolled a straight one of each result, you'll be able to choose a reward, and these can be quite powerful and get played at the end of a dice rolling phase and give all units a special bonus. You can also spend 6 courage on a turn to buy a random one of these awards. Now, as well as those results, if players are able to roll 3 of the same results on their 6 dice, but specifically in a red, white and blue, that will give them some sort of special power, depending upon which face they've rolled it on. And it might well be extra item points, a big boost in soldiers to allow you going forward, or a way to get extra courage. The longest you can spend in any sector is 3 turns, and then you'll be forced to move along. And when you move, you must have the courage as discussed. And you can go into a new sector, and if it's got one of those, you can't stay there for longer than a turn, or there are different things that can affect you, such as minefields, which will make you roll and suffer extra losses. Wherever you are, you're going to have to survive combat, with each sector having a different amount of losses you're going to have to suffer to your troops. And if you ever go below 0, you'll have lost the game. There are also extra things that go on here. For example, machine gun fire will force you to roll a d6 again, and when you roll a 6, that will have a special effect, like maybe force you to kill one of your specialists. You can gain specialists when you go to certain areas. You have to have specialists which will die to go to certain areas. More than 1 unit can be present here, and eventually you're trying to make your way out to the bunker, and each player must survive in there for 1 whole turn, taking in this case on the first map, 20 casualties plus machine gun fire, and survive. If one player makes it there before the others, they can put their specialists into play to reduce the defense of the bunker. Now this pit stop has been filmed with a combination of components from the demo set for the 2nd edition and also from the 1st edition to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. The 2nd edition is on Kickstarter from the 11th of November 2017. It will include the base game with 12 maps, and they're looking to have stretch goals for many expansions to bring in a 5th Polish player, for war stories to allow you to play Way to Hell where you play as a landing craft captain, and possibly to move on from there and take it to a different arena of combat such as the Pacific. This has been a Game Pit podcast pit stop. For more videos like this, check out the Game Pit YouTube channel. For more in-depth coverage of gaming, please find the Game Pit podcast.